Back at you. Another video coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So, I get a lot of questions. And a lot of guys read my stuff. Men and women read my stuff. But a lot of guys, I'm fascinated by a lot of guys because there's a lot of guys that face a lot of rejection. It really bothers them. We all have some form of difficulties socially when it comes to something. What's easier for me is not so easy for them, or vice versa. But the thing that really fascinates me more than anything for the past 5 years is a lot of guys have problems getting laid. I'm still shocked by that sometimes. And I think a lot of it has to do with me being an older guy, because I grew up in a time where there was no internet, there was no Amazon, I could not buy a book on dating. Even the personal development books were very limited. And 25 years ago, if I wanted to buy a book on personal development, personally, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to go. There wasn't no Amazon 25 years ago. Barnes and Noble wasn't the way it is, the way you see it today. Where I live, they had like one Barnes and Noble, and the closest one was like an hour away. And 25, 30 years, 25 years ago, well, yeah, I had my driving license when I was 17. So the access that you have today, 30 years ago, it wasn't like that. You cannot go out, you couldn't go online and buy a book. No. No, not at all. But the thing is, we have a lot of access today. I think it's too much access. It's oversaturated today. And there's a lot of pros and cons to that as well. But, when I say most men are weak and most women are trash, what I really mean by that is, see, the reason why most guys have a problem getting laid is because women automatically filter out the weak men, the weak sexes, whether you like it or not. See, there's some guys that's naturally women gravitate towards them. They don't have to do anything. I'm talking like, I know guys that's like this. I saw it in high school. I saw it in college. Doesn't matter what they do. Women just naturally gravitate towards them. And that has a lot to do with their consciousness. See, there's 4 levels of consciousness. And that's a video for another day. But if you're like the bottom of consciousness, your way of thinking, almost everything you do is going to be very difficult. Now, if you're on the second level, things get a little easier. Third level, you're killing it. You're crushing it. Fourth level, you're somewhere else. So women, they automatically go through this process. Who has the strongest gene? Who's the weakest? Got the weakest genes? So that's what I mean when I say most guys are weak. Women automatically go through this process within seconds, sometimes, within a couple minutes. And see, most guys, unfortunately, cannot just call a woman over to his house. He gets laid and she goes home. Most guys can't pull that off. Most guys have to call the girl. He'll meet her somewhere. They'll have a couple drinks, dinner, whatever. Then if she decides to go home with him afterwards, then they'll go. That's pretty much the average routine. But most guys cannot get on the phone, call a girl, hey, come over here, girl, and put this thing on you. Most guys can't pull that off. It is what it is. But things don't have to be that way forever. See, I remember the lady that wrote the ISIS papers. Oh gosh, man, Francis. God damn it, man. I'm forgetting her name, man. But she talked about the great equalizer. But for this illustration, the great equalizer is money. For this illustration, right? Now, when I say the great equalizer is money, I'm not saying you're supposed to give women money. No, I'm not talking about that. You gotta use money as a tool. You gotta get your financial situation in order. Make as much money as you can. Live the best life you can. And what's gonna happen? This usually happens. Usually, if you're making a certain amount of money or working a certain type of job, you're in a different environment, a different quality of women, I should say, usually gravitate toward you. That's what usually happens. That's been my experience. The first time I had this experience, I was in the Navy. And I realized before I went in the Navy, I wasn't attracting these types of women. It's different quality of women. It could go both ways. It could be quality, she could be trash too. But even the woman that was trash, she still was a different type of trash versus me not being in the Navy. If you understand what I'm saying. Not saying one's trash is better than the other, but I'm just saying there's different levels to the game. And I realized this, it happened 2 or 3 times. When I got out of the Navy, I started working a decent paying jobs, another different type of women I was attracting, and on and on and on. It's like, so that's your best bet if you want to Just live a better life. Get laid, do whatever you want. That way you won't have to, you know, negotiate and paying women, tricking off and all that stuff. See, the money gives you leverage. Money gives you time to work on the things that you really want to work on. See, that job money that you make, take some of that money and invest in yourself first. Then once you have enough money to do other things, you invest in other things. But you should invest in yourself. Because investing in yourself is the best investment. So, you know, most guys don't get laid. It ain't got nothing to do with just how you look. It's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. It's a combination of things. It's how you look, where you live, your job, how much money you make, how you carry yourself. It's a combination of things that happen. And it's a lot of it psychological when it comes to women. And even when it comes to you. It's not just about confidence. See, some people will say, hey, if you gotta have confidence in this and that, it's more to it than just confidence. Confidence is a good start. But you can have all the confidence in the world, but if you don't got the charm, charisma, and the gift of gab, you don't know how to talk, it's not going to go anywhere. If you walk up to a woman, it's not going to go nowhere. You know. So the best place to start is focus. Money should be a priority for you. That, you know, I don't know how exactly how this thing works, but there's a lot of psychological aspects of things that happen in society when it comes to men. See, in this society, unfortunately, if you're a man, you have to produce. That's how you get judged. Whether you're working a job, whether you're a creative type, whether I don't care what it is. That's how you get judged. And the guys that produce the most, or do the most, or present themselves in such a way to get the most exposure, those are the guys that's gonna win. They're gonna get the most women. The guys that, you know, appear to be average, shy, you're bashful, you're not gonna have a lot of women. It is what it is. If you're waiting on women to come approach you, you're not gonna have a lot of women. Most women are not gonna approach you. That's how it is. You know, it's really how it is, man. So women are automatically just ingrained in them to filter out through the weak men. And they want to mate and breed with the strongest men. It is what it is, you know. So hey, so you tell me how you getting your money up, or have you even decided to make money a priority in your life? Tell me how you're doing it. Maybe we can collaborate on some stuff. You tell me how you're doing it, and I'll tell you how I'm doing it. Leave your comments below. Like this video, subscribe. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.